Talk about Gilbert Burns. I mean, the guy looked absolutely incredibly, dominated a former champion. What did you think of Gilbert Burns' performance tonight?
Yeah, he looked incredible, man. Anywhere the fight goes, you standing, if they wrestle, if it goes to the ground, his jiu-jitsu is ridiculous. Great leg kicks. He hurt him to the leg. Great kicks to the head. I mean, that kid can do anything, and he's aggressive. I actually thought he would fight more aggressively than he did tonight, but you got to be careful with somebody as dangerous as Woodley.
Where do you think he fits in right now? I mean, there's so many names at welterweight right now.
He's in the top 5. I mean, this kid breaks into the top 5. The welterweight division looks incredible now. You know, you got Usman, you got him, you got Colby Covington, you got Edwards and Masvidal, and, you know, it's awesome.
Yeah. And last thing for me, I mean, I know you kind of wanted to get through tonight to see what happened, to figure out what to do with welterweight, but can you definitively say what is next for Usman, what the title fight is?
Yeah, so Tuesday we'll get back into the matchmaking room and we'll get that worked out. You know, if you look at the divisions and the way they're heating up right now, and thank God we're 4 fights in right now from after the break, so we're back on schedule. When we're done next weekend, we're back. We're back on schedule, and you know, these things are heating up to make some really fun fights this summer.
Do you know what you want for him, though? I mean, do you know what makes sense as the #1 contender right now?
Not right now, because what happens is we get in the matchmaking meeting, and I don't know all the intimate details of what's going on with each guy and where their head is. So when we get in and we start working on these fights, the guys will download me and say, well, he's saying this and this guy's saying that. It's not as easy as people think, because we just go in and go, oh, this guy and that guy. You know, it's not that easy. I wish it was that easy.
Dana, at the beginning of the broadcast, you paid tribute to George Floyd. I don't know if you've seen what's going on in the country like right now with all the protests across the country, but what was in the decision to do that?
Yeah, what we did for him, and we did for the Nevada State Athletic Commission doctor who just passed away too. He was a great guy, and you know, did a lot of fights and did a lot of the tough fights. You know, because we should. I mean, what happened was horrible, and it's something that's really affecting this country right now and the world. I mean, there's riots going on everywhere across the world right now. You know, it was the right thing to do.
What do you do with Tyron Woodley now? At his age, that's 2 performances in a row. He hasn't looked the best, hasn't looked like his old self. Is his time at the top coming to an end, do you think?
He'll determine that. I mean, I think that Tyron Woodley worked hard and got in great shape for this fight and took this fight very serious. And, you know, he got dominated tonight. He will drop in the rankings, and we'll see what's next for him and see how he does if he comes back. But, I mean, the guy's 38 years old. He's had huge gaps in his, you know, in his fight time. You know, it's been almost 2 years, I think, since he fought. So that's tougher to do as you get older, even if you're a physical freak like he is.
Welterweight is probably one of your most stacked divisions right now, but it's also one of the divisions that comes with perhaps the hardest negotiations. Right, those guys always seem to be causing issues. When you have someone like Burns show up, does that make it easier for you to say to the other guys, "Hey, if you don't want to take this fight, he'll take it"? Does it help you out?
Yeah, no, it's really not like that. If a guy doesn't want to fight, we don't push guys to fight. If a guy wants to sit up, Woodley's been out almost 2 years. Woodley did that when he was the champ too. You know, it makes it harder when the one thing that we do is you have a year to defend your title, which is a very long time, right? And if you don't, we move on. But most of these guys, listen, if you don't want to fight, you don't have to fight.
And last thing from me, obviously yesterday you spoke about Jon Jones, and then as soon as you finished talking, he basically tweeted out saying that if you want to, he'd like you to show those texts that you supposedly have, and still basically saying that you're not telling the truth about the interaction. Any plans to show those texts?
What do you do? Who do you believe? It's up to you guys.
Fair enough.
What would I lie for? What do I gain in lying about it? Why would I lie? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You know, obviously he's fired up right now, and he had a great talk yesterday with Hunter, my lawyer, who's, you know, he's really close to Jon Jones and likes him, and they have a good relationship, and they had a good talk yesterday. But you know, it is what it is. I really don't care. I could care less, to be honest with you. So.
Like actually a good talk, Like actually a good talk, a positive talk, not.
Yeah, they had a good talk. They had a good talk yesterday. Those guys are tight. Jon Jones and I have always had this, you know. I'm always looking at what Jon Jones could have been, you know. He could have been the LeBron of the sport. He could have been literally that big. You know, the stuff that he's been through to show up and think he, you know, basically demand $15 million or $20 million or $30 million. It's crazy. So he can do whatever he wants to do. He can sit out. He can fight. He can whatever. You know how this works. You guys know how I am. Jon Jones can say whatever he wants publicly. It's his God-given right here in America. He can say whatever he wants. And when he's ready to come back and fight, he can.
I saw a lot of people saying, like, why can't he make Deontay Wilder money? I mean, like, you said he's the greatest of all time, right? So,
being the greatest of all time doesn't mean you get $30 million. Being able to sell. Jon Jones has done a lot of things to himself. He's saying, in one of his tweets, he was saying that I tarnished you? You've done a very good job of tarnishing you. I haven't done that. You know, Hunter told him, I'll walk in, you can come in here and walk through the numbers. I'll walk you through all the numbers. And he says, I don't give a what the numbers are. I want what I want, and that's it. It's not how life works. Why don't you guys fly back and tell your boss, I don't give a what this company makes. This is what I want. You're going to give it to me. See how that works out for you.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.